welcome back to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm back today with a pick a card reading for you. A big welcome to my beautiful returning subscribers. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for your support of me. A big thank you to everyone who has dropped comments below for your chance to win the free reading as well. And if you have found yourself here for the very first time, be sure to drop your comment below any of my readings this month for your chance to win a free video reading from me. I like to draw at least a name a week, so I do have trouble sometimes getting my winners to reach back out to me, so be sure to hit your notification bell if you would like to be considered for a reading. That way I can notify you, we can get the ball rolling, and there's no delays. If you have found yourself here for the very first time, I do pick a card readings on this channel, so please join us, grab yourself some snacks, get cozy, and we're going to have a little chat today because we're all friends when we gather here together. For today's pick a card reading, we're sort of going back to where we all began. When I first started this channel, I started to do this Soulmate Sunday card reading, and I would put it out on Sundays, and I might actually get back to that. I wanted to ask you guys your opinion on that, whether or not you wanted me to do a revisal and bring back Soulmate Sunday. But today we're going to do a soulmates in separation reading, their current feelings, their secret thoughts of you. So anyone that you feel could be a soulmate, someone that you care deeply for, that you are in separation from, how are they currently feeling, and what are some of their secret thoughts when it comes to you in this connection. We do have 3 piles to choose from today. We have pile number 1 here with the peach colored, I'm not sure what type of flower that is, a peach colored flower. Pile number 2 here with the cream colored flower, and pile number 3 with the pink rose. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there may be a message waiting today. I'm going to jump right into pile number 1. Again, today we are doing soulmates in separation, their current feelings and secret thoughts of you. Pile 1. Hello, pile 1. You were drawn to the peach colored flower. And this is the Literary Witches Oracle that I am using today. And the card that you were drawn to was the Ghost card. So the ghost energy is all about things that haunt us, you know, things that we can't exercise out of our mind. So you are occupying space in this person's mind, free of rent. They're not paying any rent, or you're not paying any rent, rather, in the space that you occupy in their mind, because you're haunting them. They're thinking about you often. There's a lot of reminiscing surrounding this. And there's a lot of clouded judgment surrounding the ghost too. You know, I think about fog, and I think about unknowns between the two of you. So let's see how that flows into your reading today. Soulmates in separation, their current feelings and secret thoughts of pile number 1, please. So we're going to start with tarot. We're going to do some oracle, and then we're going to move into message cards for their current messages and secret thoughts. What are their current feelings? We do have the 9 of Swords. And it's apt that we start with the 9 of Swords because of the ghost energy. You can see them looking behind them, looking into the abyss, thinking about what could have or should have been in this connection, and really spending a lot of time overthinking as well. So their current feelings or their current energy is filled with thoughts of you. And this is something that happens often, because the 9 of Swords is not just one singular thought, it's thought upon thought upon thought stacked up. Current feelings and secret thoughts, please. Oh. We have the 3 of Cups. It is coming out with the 6 of Wands. And there's this aspect of friendship surrounding your connection. So somebody who feels like they almost lost their best friend. We have a lot of other energies coming out here as well with the 10 of Swords, the 9 of Pentacles, and the Strength. I feel like they have been haunted by you for a really long time. And they pretend like it doesn't happen. They pretend that everything's fine. They thought it would be a lot easier to sort of skirt away and walk away from the connection. But they do think about reunions often with you. And they feel like they are missing their best friend. There's the 8 of Pentacles reverse and the High Priestess. This could have been a work connection in the past, or a school connection potentially. And there's this aspect of them really holding back how they felt, and how that's a constant now. Everything that they held back is still sitting. It's like it's sitting on the tip of their tongue. but they feel like they've made their bed here. It's like, I know that I put myself in this position. We have the Tower, and they do think about reaching out, but they wonder if the risk is worth that reward. And, you know, with the Eight of Pentacles reversed, sometimes that's a laziness energy of not putting in the effort necessary because they're afraid of upheaval. They're afraid of permanent change. And to some regard, they've become used to this ghost. It's like living in a haunted house. You get used to the ghost. You name it. It follows you around. You come used to the bangs and the clangs at night. And so it's like they've done this enough repeatedly that they've become used to those ghosts. They've become used to the thoughts. They even, in some regards, have come used to some of the pain. It's like there's a painful truth that permeates through the situation. You can see there's 3 swans here. So that could resonate with your situation or your person's situation if you're privy to it. The sense of obstacles in the way, or obstacles in the very least of getting our clarity out. Obstacles in getting to new opportunities or new solutions. And then we have the Moon with the 10 of Wands. They dream about you as well. You not only haunt their day thoughts, you're also haunting in the dream realm as well. And there's an emphasis on wearing masks about you. Wearing masks to you in the past, and now having to wear masks because of you in the present. It's still a burden that they carry. But they've also, throughout all of this process, it's not going to waste, because Spirit says they're using all of these thoughts towards you to some sort of purpose. They've created epiphanies about you. They see the truth of who you are, that soulmate energy perhaps. So they are putting themselves in that boat with you. But there's still something painful about that epiphany. Because even here, if you look closely, it looks like clock faces. For me, it looks like timepieces, and they're on fire. It's like I feel like I'm running out of time to react to the epiphany about you. Your current feelings, secret thoughts. And they do torture themselves with what the two of you could have built if action had been taken in the past. They are focused on that. They're sort of stuck in that construction zone though, because it's like they're sitting in a construction zone that's been tarped over for years. It's like we ran out of funding years ago, and so it's been abandoned. And it makes them feel isolated because they feel lonely there. They don't know if you want reunions, if you're feeling the same way. But there's this sense of, I'm growing older, but my feelings haven't changed. There's the Eight of Pentacles upright. They try to work to distract themselves. To distract themselves from the temptation. And I just keep seeing years down the trunk of that tree. Timing is really on their mind. They feel like they're running out of time. Or they may have felt like timing was an issue in the beginning of this connection. They didn't act in time as well because they're still holding space for you. But they know that if they make a decision in one realm or another towards you, that it's going to create upheaval for somebody. And it's just easier for them to sit in their thirst. You know, it's easier for them to try to bypass the emotion that they still feel and sit in their thirst than it is for them to act towards the situation. But the truth is it's not easier because they're going through this. They're going through this. They're going through the loneliness. They're going through the haunting. And so they just think that it's easier. But what they're going through is pretty tough. And they've been going through it for a long time. We have the Lovers. And that is the soulmate energy. That's the attraction. That's somebody who in reality would love to still have an opportunity with you, but it makes them feel vulnerable to think about going for it. This is someone who concentrates and focuses on communication with you. And I feel like there's even an aspect of them continuing the conversation, because I'm hearing this sort of message of like, I haven't heard your voice in a really long time, but the conversation has continued in my mind with you. So it's like they haven't seen you or heard from you in a really long time, but that conversation hasn't stopped. That attraction for them and that attraction for you hasn't stopped at this time at all. We have here 2 hearts, 1 soul. It says soul sisters. So there could be an emphasis here on that, on very mirrored energy between the two of you, but it's also talking about the soulmate contract, 2 hearts, 1 soul, feeling like a twin flame with you actually. It's number 38. And knowing that they need to be focused on their own foundations, building their own coin, building up their own life, knowing that they should be, and knowing that there's a time issue here for your person. It's taken too long. This is taking too long. They're worried that they're running out of time. And we have Creatrix. And what's interesting is that your back of deck is the moon. Number 18 is the Creatrix, is the moon card as well. And it's been the fear of the unknown that has impeded their journey from the get-go here. It's like, I was scared then, I'm scared now. And that's the thing, is that when we think we're taking the path of least resistance, when we're avoiding a struggle, the same lesson is just going to follow us until we attack it, till we face it. Back of the deck says, be brave and true, 19, the Spirit Warrior, because they don't want to give up the hope that there could be clarity between the two of you, that there could be more opportunity between the two of you, because they like to have that conversation in their mind. Even though they know that there's challenges, even though they know that the likelihood of that may be slim because there's the 10 of Swords, they're still conflicted with that attachment. And it does feel like a little bit of an obsessive attachment at this time too. What are their current feelings and secret thoughts, please, from your soulmate and separation for pile number 1? We have here, we're all mad here. Everyone is a little bit different. It's 23 reversed. And you can see the Cheshire Cat. There's an emphasis on an enigmatic smile. So this person or you could have a really great smile, a mischievous sort of smile. It's hard to resist. And there's an aspect of confusion. I don't know which direction I can go to escape from this haunting. And there's even an aspect of like the ghost being stuck in that building. You know, when you hear of those stories of the hauntings where the ghost can't leave. And there's an aspect of like, I don't even know how to exorcise this ghost at this time. And here's the keeping up card. Immense effort and advancement. Timing is a factor. They're really concerned about that, about how long it's taking. If time is running out, if you still feel the mutual feelings. Ooh, what are some of their secret thoughts for pile number 1, please? The distance between us is killing me. Time and space. And I still feel jealous over you. It's like, even though I've grown, my awareness has grown, I've grown in age and experience, some things never change. Has too much time passed? Do you feel it too? And these are from the Cottage Divine Masculine Oracle. You can find the link to this deck below if you're interested. We also have, I'm letting go of the past. But they haven't let go of the past. They haven't let go of the past. I wish that I had been more honest with you. And I'm still wearing masks, and no one knows that I still think about you and this connection at this time. Let's pull a couple more cards here. What is some secret thoughts? Current feelings and secret thoughts from their soulmate and separation for pile number 1. There is something so special about you in this connection. I'm thinking about the day that we met, and there was something like kismet about that day, or there was something really serendipitous perhaps about the meeting, because I'm feeling like a spark of some kind, like the day that you guys met there's something special about it. Can we start over? Is it even possible? Can we try again? It's not over for them, pile 1. You are so attractive to me. What are their current feelings and secret thoughts? I have a lot of distractions in my life right now. But you're one of those distractions. That's the thing. I feel like the distractions, the things in their life that should be prioritized, are distractions from the thoughts of you. I spend a lot of time daydreaming about you. Whoops, lost it on the floor. And it's the I love you, but card. It's like, I love you, but there's all of these excuses. There's all of these reasons why they can't come forward. Practical concerns, potentially. I have so much to tell you. It's like they want to catch you up on their feelings, catch you up on what's happened in their life, because they feel like they've missed so much of their experience with you. Let's pull a couple of these Hermit Tarot cards as well. Woo! I miss you. Do you miss me? And the truth is that they just want you to love them. But they're wearing masks. They're acting unbothered. It says, do I know you from somewhere? I don't want to lose you. It's like, I'm wearing these masks. I'm pretending like I'm unbothered by the connection. But the truth is that I'm really terrified that you're not feeling the same way. That you're not influenced in the same way as this connection as I am. I think we should see other people. And then we have wrongful advice and words hurt. There is this feeling of other people getting in the way in the past, other people getting in the way now, not taking action because they felt like they had more time in the past as well. They're really kicking themselves. But there's an emphasis on this pile on other responsibilities and third party that are impeding movement at this time. Back of the deck was the wrongful advice. I often think about legal advice with that card for you, pile 1. But let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 1. Secret confessions. How do they currently truly feel? What are their last thoughts about pile 1 today? The Empress. Everything beautiful about the Divine Feminine. The temptation, the sensuality, the attraction. They may feel like they're sort of stuck in a bit of a karmic loop with you at this time, and they would really love to speak with you. It's like they know that they've left you in the dark, or you've left them in the dark. There could be even a blocking situation here. But they are getting really tired of not communicating, and they want to return to the world. Like, there's this aspect of like, I'm ready to bridge this gap. I would love to return to the world, but I feel like there are things that are getting in the way. And there's a recognition of like, I know I should exorcise this ghost because it's haunting me and it's causing confusion. It's causing distractions in my life. But just not knowing how. They feel like they might need communication with you to close out the cycle. But I think that they're kind of lying to themselves. I think it would just spur up more feelings for you, if I'm honest. We have the letter P in the bowl today. We have always, you are always in their heart. We have the key, which is talking about prisons of our own design, secrets that we keep regarding this connection. We even have the elephant upside down. So it's like they don't think that luck was on their side, but they've endured. They have held on to this connection. They've held on to the feelings for you. We have Made with Love, and we do have the Surrender with the white seahorse. I think about children with the Made with Love card, or charm rather. We have the Frog as well in the bowl with the piano, and the World on its face. So unfinished business here, scattered energy and wasted potential. And the frog is a symbol of someone who sort of is able to delve into their intuition. And there's an aspect of having a difficult time clearing out the clutter, clearing out the memories of you. Pile 1, that's what I have for you today. Hope that it resonates with you. And if it did, I would love to hear your story below. I would love for you to subscribe and hit your notification bell and drop your comments so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check out my link below for Etsy for personal reading if you feel called to. But I hope you come back and visit me on another day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 2. You were drawn to the cream colored flower. And this is your reading. Soulmates and separation is what we're covering today. What are their secret feelings and current thoughts of you? You were drawn to the Agatha Christie Trickery card. And this is from the Literary Witches Oracle. And this card, you can notice the noose that's hanging off the table. We have a steak knife that's stabbing into this potato. And for me right now, the potato is talking about energy. And talking about how they may feel like they have self-sabotage when it comes to the opportunity with you. And it's like they fooled themselves into thinking that it would be easier to walk away than it is to sort of avoid the conflict. It's like they created the situation that they're in, but they've come to realize with time that they sort of did this to themselves. It's like now if we look closely in the card, it looks like a bottle of poison sitting on a doily. And so it's like they're sitting and drinking from the cup that they've poisoned themselves. It's like they're drinking from the self-sabotage mentality. So they could be in a very sort of mentality of kicking themselves at this moment. But let's take a look here. What are their current feelings and secret thoughts, please, of pile number 2? Their soulmate and separation. For pile number 2, current feelings and secret thoughts. 3 of Wands. It's like certain decisions that they made or steps that they took or didn't take in the past are really plaguing them because they're thinking about the cause of events that happened after the fact, the chain of events that happened after the fact. We have the King of Wands. It could be a fire sign, a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. And they are thinking now that they really let that fear of the unknown get in the way. And they got in the way of something potentially amazing. Like they know that. And there's an aspect even, I just heard it's aged them. The reality has aged them. Because the Empress is right in the center here. And you can see all life force flows from this Empress. Satisfaction, wholeness, completion flows from this Empress. And they feel like there was so much potential. So much potential. If they had just had the courage to kick one domino, the chain of events would have been in their favor, but they feel like they let the unknown get to them. And that's devastating for them, to be honest. They are feeling really bad about the current situation at hand. And they can't seem to shake it because there's this feeling of always thinking about you and really kind of not wanting to let go of that expectation, not wanting to let go of this dream that they have when it comes to you, this fantasy. But you seem unattainable. And I felt like you perhaps cast this pallor on the situation in the past, whether you realized it or not. It was the sense of you out of their league, which is what they convinced themselves in the moment, because it was easier to convince themselves that you were better than them than it was for them to actually push themselves to your frequency. Because we have the Wheel here and the Page of Wands, and they feel stuck in place on this wheel. You can see this person holding it up with their legs crossed. She's crouched down in this position and their legs are crossed, their legs are crossed. It's like my hands are tied now. My wheel is not turning because I didn't take that chance. I didn't kick that domino over. And now I've created this situation. I sabotaged my opportunity. And now that curiosity, the questions that have gone unanswered are continuing to go unanswered. What are you like in certain realms of your life? Do you feel the same way? They think about you in a sexual sense as well. They're very curious about that aspect of you. And they feel like they're going to be continually just curious. Like there's nothing I can do to create clarity here because I've made my bed and now I have to lie in it. We have the Nine of Cups. And that is, again, fueling that message about how they felt about you in the past. You were like this dream come true. They would have felt so happy to have you on their arm. There was a sense of you being this trophy. But look on her head is that skull. It's a reality symbol. She's wearing horns, whereas there's this insecurity surrounding it. And the truth is that I feel like you were put on this pedestal, but I feel like you had some insecurities too in this connection. It wasn't like you were up on this pedestal of security and you felt great and you felt confident. I feel like you were also insecure, which is why perhaps you didn't take action in the way that you wanted to, but they put you in this position of I wished for you. I longed for you, and I let my own worries and fear get in the way. My own version of reality that was influenced by my insecurity. And now here's the King of Pentacles. And you can see it looks like a shadow of a person. It's kind of creepy, actually. It looks like a shadow of a person. And so now there's all of these shadows of what could have been in the stability of your connection. It's like they wonder what position they could have played or what role they could have played moving forward. And they think they could have placed themselves in the role of the Divine Masculine here. We have the Chariot. The Ten of Swords with the Ten of Swords. And look in this Ten of Swords, how devastating this sword of truth that's piercing through the crown. There's crying energy. There's this sense of even coming out of the mouth. There's a sense of even drooling energy or just devastation, loss, because they've had their heart and soul transfixed upon this. They know how they feel. They've always known how they feel. In the present, they know how they feel. But they do feel like perhaps they would, if they took action towards you now, that it would mess up your situation because they're prioritizing your role now. They're prioritizing you in a new foundation, perhaps in a new parenthood role. Just you've embraced your independence. They could be watching you because there's this aspect of them understanding what dynamic you're in. They know about your situation because I think they're watching you online. From the distance though. They're not communicating with you. They're not liking your photos. They're just from the distance, from the shadows even. They have one eye on you. And that in of itself, what they're viewing is devastating. And it's not because they don't want you to be happy, because what they're seeing, what you're portraying online is very positive and very abundant. And they realize how much they've missed out on when it comes to you and your experience, because they want to be involved in what it is what's happening in your life. And that's sort of, it's like they're torturing themselves with that information at this time. Because even though, you know, the Ten of Swords, this is begging us to close out that cycle, begging them to close out that cycle and find the force to enter into this independent phase where they no longer feel affected by the actions or the inactions of the past, but they just don't know how to do that. Then we have the Ten of Wands, because they still feel like there's bones to pick with you. Look at the bone piercing the hand. It's like they need assistance though. It's like they want help to achieve closure, to achieve some sort of solution here in the situation, because they don't know how to break free from it. We have the Hermit, we have Virgo energy, and we have the Star here, the Star of Aquarius, and it's Medusa. And you know, she turns unworthy men to stone. And you can see there's this cup that's being drank from, which is the skull energy of reality. It's like I'm drinking from the cup of reality, and it hurts. Because it's not that they don't know what they want, it's that they don't want to create havoc for you. They don't know if they have the strength to push the chariot forward at this point, because what they're viewing or what they assume is going on in your life doesn't hold space for them in this moment. And so they're grappling with this belief of like the ego's telling them to hold on, but their higher self is telling them to release, and they don't know how to start that healing process. But that's the only way to get themselves back into a positive sort of expectation or a positive gaze concerning this connection, is for them to surrender to the truth of the situation in the present. But there's this aspect of them even stopping that wheel from making progress, because they won't, it's like they're obsessively kind of watching you as well. Their current feelings and secret thoughts for pile 2, please. Ooh, we have a lot going on here. We have the Divine Badass, which is, I think of the High Priestess wearing those. You can see the skulls on her earrings too. Talking about secrecy, holding back their feelings because they felt like that was a feeling of empowerment in the past when it comes to you. It's like if they can control the communication, if they can control the outcome or control their actions, they'll be able to control the outcome. But they've come to realize that they were not taking very good advice when they were listening to their ego in that moment. We have here Princess Savior 12, Surrender, the Hanged Man. It says here, when darkness surrounds you, be the light. And they really care about what you think about them. There's an emphasis on Aquarius here, so you could be the Aquarius energy, because they really care about what you think. And they've learned a lot through this situation, through this disconnect. They've learned some harsh lessons that were really valuable for them, but they would love to hear from you. I feel like they don't want to create any sort of havoc from you or for you, but they would love to hear from you if possible. We have here Gaia, shine on, because they think that you're a goddess. Look at holding on to this egg. It's like she's holding on to this nest. And so there's an emphasis on motherhood here that could be in your realm at this moment. And there's the moth above. So being sort of obsessively watching your situation. And here's the Good Witch. Again, A nest filled with eggs, so much potential that they feel like they didn't take advantage of, but also an emphasis on the motherhood. And the Good Witch came out reversed, number 13. So they feel like they're in this state of inertia. They feel very, very stuck. And they don't know where this path leads. There's the 18, creatrix. They wish that they had bring their feelings or their truth to the surface when it comes to you. Their current feelings and secret thoughts, please, for pile number 2. We have here, who in the world are you? 19 reverse, delays and gratification, getting to know the new you. And there's this feeling of here, back here, it looks almost like a naked chicken to me for some reason. Somebody who was really scared to take action. And these eggs, this egg of potential that's cracked open has all of these pomegranate seeds. It's like they feel very tempted to see what still exists within the dynamics of your potential. Is there still potential here? And they don't know. That's why the 19 came in reverse. They don't have clarity over whether there is still potential, whether you still are hanging on in the same way. And I feel like there could be a very mutual energy between the two of you, but they're not in the headspace to think that you feel the same way. They're just really kicking themselves in this moment. We all have all in the golden afternoon, inspiration, creative spark, imagination, and conception. Let's get some message cards here. What are their current feelings and secret thoughts of pile number 2, please? What are some of their current feelings today for pile number 2? Did you ever feel the same way about me? Because you might be my soulmate. So they don't have a complete understanding of the soulmate connection. They say that they're stuck in a complicated situation. You may also be stuck in a situation that's complicated. And they do think that they overthink. Do I think about you too much? I want to know, are these feelings mutual? Because look, it's sticking up. I am creeping your social media. And whatever they're seeing in your social media is not giving them any sort of indicators that you're unhappy or you're missing them. Reality has hit me like a ton of bricks. They haven't been able to deny it. And the truth is that they love you. Pure and simple, they know how they feel. The Chariot is ruled by Cancer energy, so this person would be a Cancer. And I'm ready for a fresh start, but it's reversed. They know that perhaps now is not the time for that. You make me come alive when I think about you is on the back of that deck. Let's get some eternal love messages from this person. What are their current thoughts, please? Current feelings and secret thoughts of pile number 2, their soulmate and separation. What are their current thoughts for pile number 2? I've thought about living together. They've had fantasies about being that person for you, being your partner. I don't know how to express my love, so I just keep it inside. And that's been something that that's a habit for them to carry forward from the past, I feel. Just know I am obsessed with you. And you don't get to the level of the 10 of Swords multiple times in this reading without a little bit of overthinking, without a little bit of obsessive energy. I never meant to hurt you. It was you. It wasn't me. They are taking responsibility for this. They're saying that they self-sabotaged the situation. They weren't smart enough to take advantage of the situation in the past. I know more than you think because they're watching your social media. And don't focus on who wants me because I want you. It's like it doesn't matter if there's third party here. It says you will hear from me soon. Now this person does feel like there are still bones to pick. They still feel like there's an unfinished cycle here, but I also feel their hesitation to reach out to you because of what they're viewing online. So they may be hoping that you will communicate with them at some point. But they do feel inspired to take some sort of action because of what they're viewing online too. Let's get a charm bowl, please. The very last thought that pile 2's person had about them in the bowl. The Tower. They had an epiphany about you. They had this desire, this inclination, and this thought to reach out to you, but they thought about the consequences of that. So it's like they had this inspiration. They started to make this fantastical plan, and it happened while they were watching your online media. They really felt impulsive to send a message in that moment. But as soon as they started thinking about that, they started thinking about the consequences. They started thinking about, the permanent change that that could create, and that created a bit of a cog in the wheel. It stopped them from taking action completely. But they were watching you online when they were thinking about you last. In the bowl, we have the letter P. We have dance. I think about that Garth Brooks song, The Dance. It's very poetic. It's very sort of sad. It's like bittersweet in nature. We have made with love. I think of children. We have a leaf of change, but having to take a bite out of it. And they're dealing with fear. We have weakness is a choice. We have the world and its unfinished business. And we do have a line here. This is supposed to have a phone on the end of it, but it must have gotten broken off in my charm bowl. And so there's this aspect of no communication between the two of you, but them still having a direct line to you in some sort of way of awareness. We have piano being significant, and we have also the guitar being significant. So music. We have the sea star for healing, and we have 2 Aquarius stars. And then we do have the black whale tail, surrender to the flow, surrender to reality as well, because this person is coming from a bit of it's like they've hit a bit of a rock bottom when it comes to their reality of how they help themselves get into this situation with you. It's like they are taking responsibility for their actions at this time. All right, pile number 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates with you. If it did, please drop your comment below so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check out my link below for Etsy for personal reading if you feel called to. But please come back and visit me on another day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 3. You were drawn to the pink rose. And this is your reading, a soulmate and separation reading. What are their current feelings and secret thoughts of you? This is from the Literary Witches Oracle. You were drawn to the Doll card, and the Doll card is all about nostalgia and our youth. So you may have grown up with this person, or you may have sort of come of age with this person. There could be a high school connection here too, because there's a lot of nostalgia surrounding it. I think about the 6 of Cups, and there's like an innocence surrounding the connection itself. So this may not have moved into a romantic realm, or when it began, it was a very innocent connection. It could have been based in friendship. But let's take a look here. What are their current feelings and secret thoughts, their soulmate and separation, for pile number 3, please? Current feelings and secret thoughts for pile number 3. I'm getting that song by Tom Petty in my head, Last Dance with Mary Jane, for some reason. So please take that as it resonates to your situation. Current feelings and secret thoughts for pile 3, please. 6 of Cups. Oh, I had a feeling that was going to come out, to be honest. There's a lot of youth surrounding this situation, and just somebody who, I feel like they were really generous with you. I feel like there's something really special about this person for you, and for them, you're very special. They have beautiful memories with you. They want to keep those memories safe, and they think about the nostalgia of the past quite a bit. You have the Hierophant. But there's an emphasis. As soon as I put this down, I was emphasizing on that X here on the pillar. And then I'm emphasizing here on the X of the 2 keys. It's like you guys both didn't want to be just friends. You were both on the same page. And like your generosity towards each other sort of ended at that vulnerability. It's like if one of you had just been vulnerable for even a half of a second, it could have changed everything. That's what I keep hearing, because there wanted to be progression from this friendship to a relationship, and there is still this aspect of them kicking themselves because they were too afraid to take that role, take upon the role, especially from the divine masculine perspective. It's like they really are taking it personally because they feel like it was their quote unquote job. Now that's not really fair. The divine, the collective has placed this expectation on the divine masculine to take the helm on things. And so they've really internalized that, this sense of it was my job to be vulnerable, to lead by example, and I didn't. So they're kicking themselves for being a chicken, because I keep hearing a chicken. We have the Justice, so Libra energy, Taurus energy as well. They were hiding their truth. And I keep hearing that they were too afraid to take action then. They're not too afraid today, but they can't today. So it's like an irony. It's like this really frustrating irony of like the obstacles are different, but they're still obstacles, and they're frustrated about that too. The obstacles just look different now. We have the Ten of Swords. We have the Three of Wands and the Four of Cups. And now, because those obstacles seem almost insurmountable, they're not insurmountable, but they seem insurmountable. They're just testing this person's strength. It's testing their ability to be able to navigate any sort of solution surrounding the connection or surrounding the opportunity. And they feel helpless, but they're not helpless. They want more from this connection at this moment, but I don't feel like their position allows it. Even this sense of friendship, it's like it wouldn't be appropriate for me in my position to be just friends with you. I feel like other people would turn their nose up at that. They wouldn't believe it, because there's this aspect of them being in charge of something. The King of Pentacles can be a father figure. He can be someone who has built his own business, who's, you know, in charge of his coin. He's someone who builds a life in a family at times as well. And so it's like I have to tame my desires to reach out to you because I have these responsibilities on my plate. And there's an emphasis on relationships in the present moment. So that could mean that you're in a relationship right now, or they're also in a relationship at this time. And there's also this emphasis on this Hierophant energy about the steps that we should have taken and the ascension that would have created, not in just the practical realm, but also spiritually speaking. And that's why there's hurdles still today for them, because we avoided not just a practical step, we avoided the spiritual lesson that gets tagged on to that practical step, the momentum that you create. And they're so upset because they're feeling like stuck. There's these travel issues now. They're stuck with this reality of like all of this curiosity about you maintaining forever. It's like I'll never know. I'll never ever know whether you felt exactly the same, even though they feel like you did, and I feel like you did too. They'll never hear it straight from you, or they fear that they'll never hear it straight from you, and that hurts them. Not because they haven't invested emotionally in their realm. I feel like there is emotional investment in whatever they have moved into, but there's something special about you. There's something special about you that they'll never ever get a chance to see through, to gain closure on. Or in the very least, they feel helpless to gain closure on it. And if they continue to feel this belief of helplessness at the potential in the future, it will just become a helpless situation. We have the Nine of Swords showing itself right now as well. And the Seven of Swords. Even in the dynamics of a new relationship, if they're in one, if you're in one, they do secretly think about you still. There's this aspect of looking behind them quite a bit, looking over their shoulder. Not being honest about the true nature of how they feel about you. So they could be communicating to people in their life right now that, oh, this is someone that's a really special friend from the past, but that was it. There was nothing between us. It was just friendship. That's not the truth, is it? It's not the truth, but that's what they're telling themselves sometimes, and that's what they're telling other people. It's not the truth of the situation, because otherwise they wouldn't be this devastated. And as much as their logic is telling them to let go, let go, let go, to stop looking backward, to start the healing process, they're not in that place yet, to be honest. They're not in that place yet. They still feel helpless, but they're not even in a place yet to move themselves out of that helpless position, because they are still holding space for you. But I also feel like they have a lot on their plate. They're juggling a lot of different things, and they're just trying to maintain a balance in that practical realm, and that takes enough energy all in of its own. The Magician. Back of the deck is the Nine of Cups and the Four of Wands. And the truth is that you are the dream for them. You are the dream for them, pile 3. It's coming out as a very bittersweet energy, because they would love to speak to you. Emphasis on communication with the Magician, but this top hat is a symbol of complacency that they're fueling with this apathy, and their status is a big component of that complacency at this time. because there's this feeling of like, you're everything I could ever want. You are the star that I hope, that I wish for, that I think about all the time. You feel really far away because I know that you could be the one for me. Like, you could be the one that gives me fulfillment and emotional satisfaction and happiness, that we could have had it all together. Like, we could have built it all. But now if I react to that epiphany, if I'm honest about my feelings, if I bring my, feelings to the surface, it's going to create this 10 of Pentacles reverse. It's going to create this sense of destruction or breakdowns in that environment. And this is also executing, or really communicating rather, an isolation and a loneliness that they have experienced within the dynamics of what they have built. Because it's paling in comparison to the amount of emotional focus that they have applied to your connection. It just doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel satisfying. Now, to play devil's advocate for a moment, their guides are saying that a lot of the nostalgia wrapped up around the Six of Cups is because there weren't the amount of physical responsibilities attached to that moment in time for your person. Now they have a lot of things to juggle, not just their emotions, but all the practical concerns of being a grown-up, being an adult, having to make it through the day, every single day. And so when they think about you in the past, it's so much easier. There's just so much more freedom in that fantasy. There's so much more emotional satisfaction in that memory of you than they're experiencing in the present moment, because they are experiencing some loneliness there. Current feelings and secret thoughts, please, for pile number 3's soulmate and separation. Current thinking and feeling. We have Be the Light and Earth Goddess, number 44, love. It says, love who you are. And the truth is, we have the 4 here with the 4 of Wands. The 44 is all about foundations, but also twin flame energy between the two of you. And there's a remembrance energy here with her red. It looks like almost like a poppy in her hair. And so there, you flood them with nostalgia. They know that they have to heal. They really care about what you think about them too. They keep thinking about that. Do you feel the same way? They're pretty confident it's mutual. But they're also, this long braid is a symbol of all of the lessons that they've learned through their experiences. It's a symbol of them fearing what other people will think of their truth being brought forward. And it's an emphasis too on them acknowledging, I know I need to heal from this. I either need to get clarity or I need to heal from this, but they're so focused on you. You are the light that they think about all the time that surrounds them. Back of the deck says, priority of purpose, number 30. It says, love is everything. And this person has their hands tied behind their back and they're wearing these wings. And there's this feeling of priority of purpose. The King of Pentacles sitting in his priorities in this moment of juggling all of his priorities. And that's the thing, is that in the past of this connection, they didn't prioritize the actions they needed to take towards your connection. And now they can't prioritize the actions they need to create change in your connection. Current feelings, secret thoughts, please, for pile number 3. Choices, feeling frustrated and restrained with the choices that they've made in this connection, and that is the Lover's energy, number 6. It's also talking about this, the collaboration of souls. It's like the soulmate contract, working together to achieve ascension in different realms. It's like they feel like they fell short on a lot of those lessons, and they fell short on the ascension that could have been possible in your connection, and they're really kicking themselves for this certain amount of decisions that they made when they knew you or when they were spending time with you, and also the choices they made leading them to the position they're in at this moment. We have here, who in the world are you? Getting to know the new you, number 19. And there's an emphasis on clarity here and wanting to bring that clarity to the light, but they're still scared. Look, I almost see a naked chicken floating up here. This is the second time this card has come out today. There's a fear associated with this, with travel, with moving forward towards you, but they are tempted. They're tempted to see whether or not there's still potential that exists, but they do feel helpless. That's the temptation of the 3 of Wands, but the helplessness comes in with the 4 of Cups. Let's get some honest love messages for you from the Honest Love Tarot. What are their current feelings and secret thoughts, please? I listened to every word you said. It's like they hung on every word. It's almost like they followed you around like a puppy dog. There's this aspect of just following you around Even here, as soon as I said that, my awareness was brought here to taming this strength energy. If pigs could fly, in a perfect world you would be mine, but it seems impossible. It's not impossible. The Four of Cups reminds us that we hold the power with the Magician. We hold the power over the elements, over our communication, over our actions. I was the happiest I've ever been in the past, and they've come to realize that it pales in comparison with what they're experiencing in the present, because what they're experiencing in the present could be this Ten of Pentacles in the reversal. So on the outside it could look very stable, but they're lying to themselves and other people about the nature of their satisfaction there. I'm getting over my fears, the Nine of Swords, and Yang sideways. This is the Divine Masculine. This is somebody who wants to take action, has a spark of inspiration towards you. But there's an aspect of having to make practical plans before they execute any sort of intention, because that's the Hermit. I go home all to myself. There's an isolation and a loneliness. I don't necessarily think they go home to themselves in a physical sense, but it's like being in a crowded room with thousands of people. If it's not the person you want it to be, you can still feel super lonely in a huge group of people. And so the Hermit is focused, and he grounds himself to try to create solutions, because they feel like it's going to require a lot of teeny tiny steps to be able to create change. But they do feel inspired. They still want to communicate with you. Current feelings and secret thoughts for pile number 3, please. I've made my bed and now I have to lie in it. And this is from the Divine Masculine Oracle, the Cottage, and that's below if you're interested in that link. You are my soulmate. And do you miss us the way that I miss us? I wish that I'd fought harder for this connection. I am so sick of no contact, feeling the pressure, but I'm trying to focus on integrity. I'm trying to become a better person. And I don't know how much longer I can do it. I don't know how much longer I can do this disconnect. It's starting to grow pressure, and I don't know how to fix things. So they're kind of stuck between this feeling of insecurity, this feeling of exhaustion, but also not having any solution to create change. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 3. What was the very last thought that pile 3, soulmate and separation, had about them at this time? Very last thought that they've had concerning pile 3. The moon, Scorpio. We have the Knight of Cups. Ooh. They were feeling inspired to bring clarity into the situation about taking some sort of leap and be vulnerable with you and take action towards you to communicate. But there is that fear of the unknown looming in front of them. There is the obstacles looming in front of them, and they are afraid to look bad. Whether it be to you or in their environment, they are afraid to look bad. So that was the last thought that they had about you. We have H and V. We also have here the star with the fairy inside. So there's a feeling of unattainability, Aquarius energy. It's like wishing upon something that we feel like doesn't exist or can't come to pass. We have a paperclip, I think, about a work connection or a school connection. We also have here a little girl. Emphasis on youth. And we have the doll that started out your reading. We have 2 whale tails, the gray whale and the blue whale. And it's the Divine Masculine that's moved into that shade of gray that we see within the Hermit, of trying to make plans, trying to focus upon responsibilities that they have, but also trying to focus upon solutions to create new beginnings. We have the horse, freedom. We always have a choice, but being pulled in different directions. Seahorse as well. It's like going with the flow, but sometimes the seahorse will wrap that tail around a reed and not be able to hold on, not be able to let go, rather, won't allow themselves to go with the flow. And I feel like this person's having a difficult time surrendering. We also have the stethoscope, somebody who didn't express their heart, a hospital or nursing connection. All right, loves, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates. And if it did, please drop your comment below so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading. Don't forget to hit your notification bell so that you're notified if I choose you to be the winner. And I will contact you in the comments section, but I make it very clear on how to contact me, and I do not use any sort of cell phone number, because there has been a spammer who has been in the comments section of the Tarot Cottage posing as me, and they're offering up this cell phone number for everyone to reach out to. So please do not fall for this scammer. They're just trying to take advantage. But I hope that you come back here for another visit at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day.